Hello and welcome to another week of GoodGood Investing. I am Rachel Grunn.
And I'm Andrea Cwik.
And guys, we provide passive investment opportunities for busy professionals that are interested in investing in commercial real estate without dealing with tenants, termites, and toilets.
Yes, we give people a passive way to invest in real estate. And let me tell you, as an active investor, passive is the way to go.
Yeah, 100,000% yes. How are you doing, Andrea?
I'm doing good. I will say we had another tenant issue with our short-term rentals with somebody smoking weed again, even though it's in our contract. Do not smoke in or off property, like on the property, either inside or outside. Just don't do it because it comes inside. So yeah.
See, this is the problem with like getting like a rental and then doing like a mood board and like designing it all perfect and like an Airbnb and being like, oh my gosh, I would want to live here. You do not want to invest in a place you'd want to live because someone's going to destroy it.
You know, everybody thinks short-term rentals are cash cows. That's, I think, what's the marketing, sales pitch for all of these short-term rentals. Let me tell you, it's a lot of maintenance. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work. Even if you have property managers, there's still so many issues that come up. So
and here's what I heard about Airbnb, because I told you that I was under contract on an Airbnb in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So I was doing some research into like insurance on Airbnbs, and Airbnb says, oh, we have our own insurance, but it's like $2 million, not per property, not per Airbnb host. That's $2 million for the whole company.
Yeah.
Maybe it's raised since then, but still, it doesn't matter. Once they paid out $2 million in claims, dried up. Gone. Yeah. So you have to get special short-term rental insurance on top of your homeowner. It's like a rider on top of your homeowner's
our
insurance.
Insurance is so high on our short-term rentals. One, you also want to get something called like a loss of income insurance, just in case anything happens to it and you can't rent it out. You have insurance on the property, and then you have insurance liabilities. Mm-hmm. And then on top of all of the utilities, then you have the property management, then you have all of the toilet paper and all of the things, shampoo, conditioner.
Not to mention, you also have to furnish an Airbnb.
Yes, it's very, very pricey. At the end of the day, I was running numbers, and let me tell you, our multifamily investing is hitting it out of the park compared to the short-term rentals.
Yeah, and we're not having to, even as active participants, we're able to have other people like do certain things within it, like do the day-to-day management, asset managers. Yeah. So we're not having to do all of it, even though we're active. Our passive investors are truly hands-off, right? But even on the active side, it's so much easier.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Wow, girl, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's good. I mean, the reason why I keep it, because maybe our listeners are like, then just sell it. It's true. I have thought about selling it. If you want to buy it, contact me. But
or if you want to go.
Yeah.
Don't smoke weed.
Yeah, exactly. Please. But our boys just love going to our cabins. And so that's the reason right now that we're holding on to them. But I do think about turning them over and putting them into multifamily and being a little more hands-off. But
it would make sense. So today we're gonna talk about what a multifamily deal looks like from closing to sale. Like what can you expect from like a full cycle multifamily deal? We're gonna be kind of going through these next couple weeks, some FAQs and diving a little bit deeper, especially from a passive investor standpoint, what you can expect when you invest in multifamily with us.
Yeah, sounds good.
So we've just closed on the property, Andrea. Congratulations.
It's a very exciting day.
Actually, we are closing on a multifamily property today. Today we're closing on another deal, which is so exciting. But so what can our passive investors expect from the day of closing? We're obviously going to send out a huge congratulations.
Huge congratulations email. They are now co-owners of the apartment building with us. And then in a few months, so 6 to 9 months, they can expect maybe their first set of returns that comes in mailbox money to their bank account. They can also expect a monthly update. Those are very important. My husband actually works on one of the properties that we bought. He works on the ins and outs of just combing through financials, looking at all of the things that have been done to the apartment, puts this report together, sends it out to investors. They know exactly what's happening from month to month. They get pictures, they get all the details on financials, they get all the details on occupancy. They know where we're at in the business strategy. They'll be very well informed. You'll be very well informed from month to month.
Our goal is to never have an investor email us and be like, hey,
how's it going?
How's it going? Any updates? It's like, that's when we know we're not doing our job. We want to be able to, every month you expect, you're going to get an update on how our business plan is being executed, essentially.
Exactly. And I did actually have to, on one of my passive investments recently, I was getting the monthly report from some other partners, which were just passively invested. We're not on the general partnership team. And I did have to email them asking them where our returns were, because it's been 9 months and I hadn't gotten returned.
9 months?
And that's fine that we're in, this economic climate where people are being a little more conservative on returns. I just want to know about it.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I know that we're in for the long haul, but communicate. The monthly report should tell me when we're expected to know when the returns are coming, or give me an idea of, we haven't made a decision yet. We're going to be looking at data. This is when we expect it.
And you touched a little bit on the cash on cash mailbox money.
Yes.
And it is going to be distributed quarterly. However, in that first year, it's going to be delayed because 9 times out of 10, we have a rehab element, right?
Right.
And so we are going to be reserving some of that capital for the rehab.
Yes.
However, it does accrue from day one.
Yeah, absolutely. It accrues from day one. You might not see it immediately, 6 to 9 months, like that other property that we're invested in. And that's fine. You will see it. It does start paying out from day one. It just doesn't reach your, the mailbox money until whatever distributions are given.
And then another point that's important as far as the returns go, say there's a property that's projecting an 8% cash on cash. That doesn't necessarily mean that every year it's going to be 8%. That's the average across the whole deal.
Absolutely.
So year 1, it might be 6.5, and then year 2, it might be 10. And then, but average throughout the deal will be 8% a year if that's what it's projecting. And also their projections, could do better, could do worse. That's just, our conservative underwrite and what we could conservatively, everything's super conservative, what we could conservatively project.
I mean, I really do want our listeners to know, and, this investment type isn't for everyone. There is a qualification process that comes with it. But I want all of our investors to know this is an investment. This is not something that's guaranteed. This is a more surefire, I would say, way to invest, in my opinion, because it is a physical asset. It's not just something that happens with the market and you don't have control over it. It's a physical asset you can touch. So I personally think that's a huge benefit, but it's still an investment and there still is risk that I want our listeners to know. I mean, could they lose all their money? It's a possibility. But do we expect that to happen? No. Could they gain a 3x multiplier instead? I've seen it happen quite a few times in this environment, in the economic climate that we were just in. Does it happen all the time? No. So, it is still an investment. There still is a lot of risk. Definitely something I want all of our listeners to keep in mind. It's not for everyone. There is a qualification. Yeah,
which is why, again, it's super important to have a call with us so that we can also know not only if you think it's right for you, but if we think that multifamily investing is right for you, given, kind of where you are in your financial journey. We're also going to be developing a financial health checklist to kind of see, what your net worth actually is, essentially. So back to the lifetime deal cycle. When do we decide we want to sell? How does that happen?
So what we do is we really look at multiple exit strategies. And when we know we're going to sell is because we've reached our investor returns and we think we've either reached them or reached close to them. And it's at a spot where we think the market has enough profit for our investors that we could take that sale.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes we're looking at annualized return too, because we've had a deal sell that was set like a 76% return in 2 years, but that's like 38% annualized. So we're also looking at that return too, because even though we haven't hit the 100% projected return, I mean, if we get 76% in 2 years, why not sell, give you your money back, and go deploy it elsewhere? You know?
Exactly.
So we're constantly reevaluating our business plan, and if it's going to make sense to sell sooner, of course, everyone's incentivized to do that as well. You know, just kind of when it makes most sense for the deal. But one thing is for certain. Our investors will never be left guessing or wondering what their money is doing or how the property is performing.
Yeah, we personally take pride in communicating and over communicating. And I know my investors have texted me late at night or called. We've gone out to dinner with them. Really, like, we pay personal attention to our investors. They're very important to us, and they will get all their questions answered.
Yes. And then at the beginning of the next tax year, you'll get a K-1 from us.
Yeah.
And that is something that you'll hand to your CPA, which will have your depreciation benefit on it for your taxes, and just lay out all the details of your investment so that, you know, for financial reasons, you'll be able to account for that as well.
Yep. And so, Rachel, why don't we hold on to our properties for like 15 years? That's, some investors ask me that, like, why don't you just hold on to it long term?
It's all about velocity of money. It's all about what we can do to grow your net worth the fastest. And that is why we particularly prioritize distressed assets, because you don't have to hold them for as long. There's a lot of people that do like those A-class glass, nice buildings, but you have to hold on to them for so long because you can't force appreciation by adding value. The value is maxed. The value is here. So you got to wait for the market or the rents to appreciate naturally. Whereas with ours, we can force appreciation. So why not sell quicker? And then you can build that initial seed capital into a huge portfolio of assets. Also with the refinance element, which is not possible in A-class apartment buildings.
Right.
Because why are you going to refinance? It's not gaining enough value in 18 months to do that. So we always, well, not always, but I would say 9 times out of 10 have a refinance element in year 3, where if we still own the property, we're going to refinance it to return a huge chunk of your capital back to you, non-taxable, for you to redeploy elsewhere. So we're all about, come on, turn it over. Let's do it quick enough. Let's do it fast.
And when we say distress, we don't mean like high crime, broken windows. We just mean there's a remodel component to it. So we take an asset that has good population growth, good job growth in the area. Rents are below what they should be compared to the rest of the apartments around it. And then what can we do to make it better and add that remodel value that we can bring for it? So just wanted to make that clear. We're definitely not looking at high crime. It's lower crime areas.
Exactly. So also between our updates, we are always available.
Yeah,
always available for questions, concerns. That's high level, kind of what a deal looks like from contract to closing. Of course, everyone is different. But again, it's not something that you will be updated every step of the way, for sure. Yeah. Well, we have some new exciting things on our website. Do you want to talk a little bit about those?
So we have some things coming up, which I'll leave as a surprise, but we definitely do have more things, like you said, on it. We have our bio, we have our podcast links. We now have an Invest With Us page, so you can really go through the steps of knowing if this is something that will work for you. It'll give you like a kind of pre-qualification process. And then you can talk with us. It'll lead you to a conversation with us.
Yes.
So we've done a lot of updates to the website. Go visit it. Lots more education on there. And then we have a surprise coming up.
Which, depending on when you're listening to this, you might just want to go look at the website now because it might be up there if you're back listening to episodes. So I just keep on reiterating, you cannot access our offerings unless you talk to us. You can't. We are super strict about the SEC regulations. So in order to remain compliant with the Securities and Exchange Commission, you have to schedule a call with us in order to see any offerings that we ever have available. We will never talk about active offerings on the podcast, ever. So seriously, schedule a call with us. Go to GoodGoodInvesting.com. It's a one-stop shop where you can get access to all those resources, get on our emailing list, which is important, but that will not qualify you. You also have to schedule a call, and we'd love to talk with you. Just a super quick introductory call just to get to know you. Absolutely no obligation whatsoever from us at all. So well, Andrea, don't invest good.
Invest twice as good.
Bye.
Bye.